I've been seeing these cool little folding magnetic tables, and I thought I could use one of those. Especially when I'm sheltering under the awning, where I could use some extra surfaces, but ground space is limited. You can, of course, just buy them. They have a small one for about 27 bucks and bigger ones for a bit more. However, it seemed like something that I could build, but with my own spin. First of all, the tactical look of Molly panel isn't really my vibe. And as a clumsy person, I should probably have a solid surface. Plywood that is stiff enough would probably be too heavy. And if I used a thin plywood, I would have to construct some sort of frame. And this is supposed to be a simple project. I poked around IKEA and I found their Kugis box lids, including a bamboo one. Bamboo has that natural look, it's thin, it's light, yet strong. And at about $9, the price is right. As a hardware hoarder, I still have these old brackets from version 1 of the camp kitchen. However, they are a bit flimsy and clunky, so I'll link to some better ones in the description. These brackets have pretty long mounting arms with 2 holes spaced pretty close together, so I went with 4 smaller magnets. These magnets supposedly hold 5 pounds each, so 20 pounds total, but we shall see. The screws they give you, because they assume you're going to put it through a piece of plywood or something, very long, so that this is what you get. So I went to Ace. I got some smaller bolts and some hardware for mounting the shelf brackets to the platform. So let's try and put it all together. Let's make sure life a lot easier. Just attach the spring for now. A little give. I'll put a lock washer in there too. That's better. Oh yeah, that's the one. Give me that. I didn't have the board with me, so I wasn't sure how long to get. These might actually be too long, because that nut also, I thought it was clever getting lock nuts in here, but they are going to interfere. I wonder if I do them the other way. Not as attractive. I might just be using screws. I just wasted some money on these guys. Good thing I kept the receipt. Alright, found some nuts that fit. Alright, I guess we'll try one and see what happens. fold. Okay, next question, does it release? Nope. Wait, it goes like this. Nope, because this thing doesn't slide. Alright, so you can't use the trigger. Right? There's one side. Do it again. Because that's what I get. One thing you'll notice in those other videos is that they're putting these shelves on square-bodied vehicles like Land Rovers, Broncos, Jeeps, and Jimneys. Finding a vertical space on the 4Runner can be the hard part. But the 4Runner, she's a curvy girl. So finding a perfectly vertical space is a challenge. Whoa. That's a pretty good spot. A little high. What'll do? I'll need a thing. Oh. You did. Does have a little bit of slope this way because of the lean of the body. So I think what I'm gonna do is put spacers in the upper ones to compensate. I ended up using some grommets right here to adjust for the angle. And since it's longer, I went back to the bolts that came with the magnets because they're a little longer than the replacements. So that's how we kind of straightened it out. I have now used this little shelf a couple of times, both on the side of my camp fridge and on the body. And it is nice to have that little extra surface. But the question remains, how much weight can it actually handle? All right. So each magnet supposedly holds 5 pounds, so it should be 20 pounds total. So let's see what we get. Ooh, there's 5. There's 10. All right, I gotta get some more weights. Okay, let's go ready for 15. There you have it, folks. Somewhere between more than 10, at least 10, not quite 15. Okay, so where you put it also matters because it does not hold here. It holds much better back here. Chipped my shelf a little bit. Yeah, I would say 10 safely on these guys. They do make some big honkin' ones that hold some more, supposedly. And there you have it. So you might be able to make coffee on it, pour over, not pressed. But I think I'm going to stick with unheated beverages, just in case, for safety.